Hi everyone, my name is Lacey. This is my audience tonight. Okay. How many times have you walked into a college class and every single student was sitting up, paying attention, and getting everything they possibly could from the lecture? Now, how many times have you walked into a college class and multiple students were Facebooking, Snapchatting, sleeping, or just staring at the walls with a bored, I have no idea what's going on look? Chances are you have seen more classes where not all the students are paying attention than you have with every student paying attention and actually learning. Attendance policies have been around for years, teaching students that showing up to class is important, but how helpful are attendance policies really if they make students come to class but don't guarantee that the students will go to class to learn or just go to class to make an appearance? Attendance policies may be helpful in elementary and high school, but once a student reaches the college level, an attendance policy is not going to make much of a difference. Either the student will show up because they want to, the student will show up because they have to, but they won't actually learn anything, or the student just won't show up at all. Elementary school and high school taught students to be punctual and attend classes, but students have busy, complicated lives and should have the freedom to make decisions like going to class or taking some time to regroup after a busy, stressful week. When college professors enforce an attendance policy, it may help students go to class, but it doesn't guarantee that they come to class to learn or just to make an appearance to get the participation points. Take Northern Arizona University, for example. This university spent $85,000 to install a system that scans students' ID cards as they walk through the classroom doors. Some may think that this is a useful investment because so many studies have been done that show that students who attend class have a higher grades than those who don't attend class. Minnesota State University, Jonathan Goldling, and the economics department at UC Santa Cruz are just a few examples of people in colleges who have found proof that regular attendance is beneficial for students. But can the system Arizona has invested guarantee that students will learn the class material? No, that part is completely up to the students themselves. Attendance is also calculated in the final grades, which though many people think it's beneficial for the students, it really isn't. Including attendance as part of the student's grade is an unfair evaluation and representation of the student and their capabilities. Every person learns differently. Some people learn by going to lectures and listening to the teachers, asking questions, participating. Others like to go home, read the book, and they learn by themselves. If a professor teaches from the book, then it is possible for a student who only goes to class for tests and quizzes that they can still be an A or a B student. So if that professor includes attendance to part of the student's grade, the student's grade can easily become a C or worse even though he or she is an A student. Really, professors shouldn't need to enforce an attendance policy. Professors need to make students want to come to class because they feel like they learned something in class that they couldn't learn on their own. Barbara, a professor at a liberal arts college in Ohio, said, "As the teacher, our responsibility is to make the work we do in class a vital component of their learning, such that if a student misses a class in the conversations that transpire there, she or he has missed out on an important opportunity to grow as a learner." In college, students are learning so much more than just what their professors are teaching them. College is a time to learn how to be an adult, to become responsible, to figure out what you want with life, and to find who you really are. It is important that colleges let the students have the freedom to make their own mistakes and to learn from their mistakes. If attendance continues to affect students' grades, then the students will continue to be falsely evaluated and represented. I'm not saying attendance is not important because it is, and it has been proven that students with a greater attendance rate tend to score higher in their classes. However, as Jonathan Goldling said after his research on attendance, simply because students who get better grades are also more likely to be students who come to class does not mean that making students come to class will result in better grades for them. Really, the solution to the problem is easy. If you're a parent, teach your kids that showing up matters, and not to show up just to make an appearance, but to actually learn. If you're a teacher, make your classroom and your lecture interesting and make the student feel like they are actually learning stuff in class that they can't learn on their own. If you're a student, find a major that truly matters and truly interests you, so when it comes time to go to class, you will want to go to class and not feel like you have to force yourself. Again, attendance is important in college, just like it is important at any job, but making an appearance is completely different than showing up and learning and participating. If students are skipping class and not doing well, then that is their mistake and to make and to learn from. As a professor or parent, the best way for you to help is to encourage the students to go to class and to make class a place that students want to be. The ideal classroom is full of students, not because a policy forces them to show up, but because the students understand that what happens in class is their endeavor to learn. Barbara also said, our job as teachers is to make the face-to-face class time as compelling as it can be, such that students want to come to class. And by want, I don't mean that they live in fear of being penalized for not coming.